Hey guys, Micah from blackbearcustomkydex. I've got a really exciting video for you today. I'm super excited that this is the video I'm dropping as the first video back from a pretty long hiatus. I think it's been a couple months since I've really posted anything, and I owe you guys a lot of content. I think in the next few weeks I'll be trying to post a lot of projects because I've been just very busy and have had my attention elsewhere and haven't done a lot of social media in the recent past. So all right, the reason I'm excited about today's video is because it is a giveaway. You guys may remember back in October of last year, 2022, Phobos Knives asked me to be a part of a giveaway that they were doing of their Alaris, their newest drop at that point. And so I was super honored. I built a really nice sheath with alligator over Kydex, and it was a big hit. And some lucky guy, I think his name was Scott, if I remember correctly, Scott won that knife and sheath. And today, Phobos has asked me to announce this guy. This is their newest knife, the Cacula, and this particular one is in a stonewash finish with G10 camo handles with red liners. So I looked like I was stroking out for a bit there. I almost said something completely different, but my brain was just misfiring there. So anyway, this knife, guys, I said it about the Alaris, and I have to say it about this as well. Instantly a top 3 all-time favorite knives. I am blown away by Eric's designing lately. It's just, and all of it really. I mean, I love everything that Phobos has put out, but the Alaris and the Cacula in particular are just right up there with my all-time favorite blades. And I'm just super proud to own one of these now as well. However, this one is not mine. This one could be yours. So what I want you to do is stick around, check out the video on this knife and the custom sheath I made for it, and then head over to Phobos Knives Facebook page, their Instagram, their YouTube, whatever other social media they've got up and running. And I want you to follow them, subscribe to them, whatever else, so that you don't miss out on this giveaway, because it is a monster, guys. This knife, all right, so I'm going to give you my quick rundown on it. There's going to be guys doing reviews of it, and they do it much better and more thorough and do testing and all that. I just want to give you my initial impressions on it. I love the design. I love how it looks. I love how it feels in hand. It looks and feels very much like a fighter. However, I would trust this thing to do daily, just EDC tasks, opening boxes, whatever it might be. You could field dress an animal with this. You could use it in any kind of survival situation. You could take it into combat. You could use this for food prep. There's just really no shortage of ways that I can think of. I probably wouldn't necessarily baton with it, although it does have a nice beefy spine and it's capable of that. It's just not long enough for what I would use for batoning. So other than that, this thing is just kind of an all-purpose blade, but it really feels like a fighter. I think Vega, if you guys are familiar with Phobos knives, you probably know Vega. He was talking to me about it, and he said, you know, it was kind of designed as a pure fighter. Like if you're drawing this thing, it's coming out for blood, and it definitely has that look and feel to it. But man, I trust Phobos knives to do so much more than any one task. So that's my opinion on it. And full disclosure, I am not being paid by Phobos at all to give my opinions. This is just my personal thoughts and opinions. In fact, to drive that point home, I want to highlight the fact that the Alaris factory sheath I actually really liked and admired. I think the factory sheath for this one is not so good. It's really, really tight. So I wasn't pleased with that. However, now that I own one of these, you guys could get a custom one for me. I also know Tobacco Road Adventures has one as well. And man, he does such beautiful work. So if you guys are looking for custom aftermarket sheaths for these things, definitely hit us up. Yeah, if you're not happy with what the factory sheath option is, then you know that there's some aftermarket options out there, and I'm sure there are other guys that are doing them as well. All right, so getting into this, Phobos gave me full reign to produce whatever kind of sheath I wanted, everything from colors to carry setups, and they even let me choose the exact knife that I wanted to use for the giveaway. With the Alaris, they sent me one that was like kind of like an ivory off-white handle, really, really beautiful, but it's hard to kind of find something that matches that kind of handle. So this time I chose the camo G10 with red liners and a stonewash or tumble finish. I really love the look of this thing. I'm kind of bummed out now that I didn't choose this one for myself when I got mine. However, I'm really proud to be producing a sheath for it and showing you guys what I've got for you. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you one of the carry setups and just try to streamline the video as much as possible. You guys know that I make these clasp danglers. I invented this a few years, probably 4 years ago now. I know there's at least one other guy copying me out there. I won't name names because I'm not that type of dude, but I really find it to be super greasy when you copy somebody else's intellectual ideas and then produce it with its own name like you're the one that came up with it. It's a cowardly and greasy thing to do. And yeah, so I like to make mention. I'm not trying to brag on it or anything. This was something that I created for one customer and then made a video with it, and everybody's been asking for them since. So clasp dangler. Now you can imagine you can put the tech lock on the sheath, you can be carrying on the tech lock, and then when you want to switch to a dangler setup, it is literally as simple as opening up your tech lock and putting the dangler into it or taking it out when you want to switch back. So it's just a piece of Kydex that really tightly locks into the tech lock. So it's not some revolutionary concept or anything like that, but I am proud of it as a creation that I came up with, and just want to make mention of it every time I get a chance because people really like them, it seems. And yeah, so this is going to go with it. I've also attached a pivot plate to the back. This is made out of polycarbonate, otherwise known as bulletproof glass, this particular type anyway, and it is extremely rugged. You can see these curved slots in it. This allows you to mount your tech lock to the plate. The plate will be mounted to your sheath, and you can pivot this thing up to 90 degrees without having to take any tools out and remove the tech lock and reposition it, nothing like that. So you get everything from a vertical to a scout carry and everything in between, like a canted cross draw, whatever you want to do with it. And it's 360 degrees of options. You just have to take the tech lock off, turn it, and remount it on at a different angle. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use this pivot plate to get any angle on your belt, and it's just a great way to carry. So pivot plate with a tech lock and clasp dangler, that's what you're looking at here. Now over to the sheath and the other carry setup. This is also an announcement of my newest carry setup, and it's not something that is brand new to BBCK or to the industry or anything like that. It's just it's a chest harness, but I've kind of reimagined it, and I've built it differently from in the past, and this is how I'm going to be moving forward. However, I want to make note that the way that this is done involves CNC, and so I'm able to customize this, everything from size to hole placement, all that stuff. But right now we're going to look at the one I made for this particular project. So this, I would say, would be my kind of small to medium sized knife or sized chest harness. So this is a 4-point harness, and you can see it's got a whole grid on the front that you can get just about any angle out of with your sheath, and it's got a back plate that helps wrangle the straps together. So it's a really nice design. Moving to a 4-point harness with these plates has changed everything in the sense that it allows me now to give you a product where if you want to change the position of your knife, the angle of it, whatever it is, you don't have to find a new lengths and tensions for your harness. It's all set up already. You just have to worry about how the sheath interfaces with the plate itself. So let me put this on for you so you guys can see how easy it is. Once you've got your straps adjusted to your particular body size, all you have to do is put this sucker on. I recommend leaving the top straps alone and then just unbuckling the bottom straps and slipping it on and off over your head. It's really, really easy. You just reach around to grab your strap with the buckle and close that sucker up. It's very comfortable, guys, with the 4 points of contact and the 2 shoulder straps. I can't complain. I could wear this all day and not even notice it's there. It's really that comfortable. Let me show you how it looks in the back. Hopefully I don't have any of the straps tangled up. So it comes together really nicely, and you might notice there's a lot of excess webbing hanging off. That is by design. I produced these with Jacob Peterson over at Beach and Tactical, makes these harnesses, straps rather, for me, and these are just like kind of universal harness arms. We put intentionally a lot of excess webbing on it so that any range of body size and body type will work with these, and if you want to, you can trim the excess off after you found the tension that works for you. So like I said, you just find how it works on your body. You can also take the plate off and reconfigure it to go, well, in fact, you know, it's pretty much symmetrical, so you just have to readjust the straps to your needs. But you could have this plate be going the tall way instead of the wide way, Yeah, it worked just the same. So I'm really happy with how this came out. It works beautifully, and it gives you a lot of options for how to mount. It's universal, so if you already own sheaths that you can mount to this, or holster or whatever, like I said, it really only relies on how your holster or sheath interfaces with the plate, rather than how the whole thing interfaces with your sheath. I like this so much better. It's way more comfortable, way more versatile, and way quicker to change angles. All right, so what you're looking at for a sheath here, I used what's called True Hide, which is the pattern. It's embossed and textured with that pattern, and Whip is just the black color designator. They also offer it in whiskey, in London tan, I think. Yeah, they have a moonshine, maybe. I think they've got like 4 different colors, something like that. But Whip and whiskey are my 2 favorites. And there's also a nice accent plate on the front with the American flag in it. The chest harness, as you see, does not have to interact with the hardware holding on the accent plate. This screw right here and this screw right here are the only 2 that are holding this onto the plate, and it's perfectly stable. It works beautifully like this. So you can use 2 points of contact minimum, and you can obviously go up just about as high as you want. With the tight grid spacing of the holes here, you can rotate this absolutely 360 degrees, and you're going to find at least 2 holes that coincide with your slots or your eyelets on the sheath. So literally 360 degrees of angles. You've got lateral, you've got ride height changes you can make, and you of course have a completely by default ambidextrous build, so you can switch this around. The plate does reverse and fit exactly the same on the opposite side. So absolutely every component of this is ambidextrous. I love how it looks, I love how it feels, and man, the retention on this is super snug. But if you use your thumb to break that retention, it's not so bad. I don't recommend the grip it and rip it draw ever, really, but for this, you just push with your thumb. You can even use a little bit of pull strength with your arm, so you're partly grip and rip, partly thumb, and it makes it super, super smooth. The snap back in, unmistakable when you've reinserted your knife and you're ready to go. So being that this is going to result in potentially an inverted carry like you're looking at here, I wanted to give it a little extra retention. Now, the other thing about this sheath that I didn't say yet was that it's a double layer sheath. A lot of the time when I do a full double layer, you'll see me carve away the edge of the outer layer to reveal the bottom, or the edge of the inner layer. On this one, I've actually left it so that they're flush with one another, and the reason I did that is because I fused the layers together fully. So there's absolutely no seam all the way around the 2 layers. It all just came together so nicely, and these layers are permanently bonded to one another through heat and pressure, not through any kind of adhesive. So it's about as strong as the bond between these pieces of plastic can get. And of course, around the outer edge of the whole thing, you also have a seamless edge to tie into that really nice red G10 liner that you're looking at. So the colors on this overall, you've got True Hide Whip, you've got OD green, and you've got an EMT red inner layer / liner all the way around. I think that looks really cool, especially looking into the slots. You can see it through all the slots. This is just a beautiful knife, and I wanted to give you a really special sheath to go with it. So that's pretty much all I've got for you guys, but I'd love your opinions on this whole build, particularly the new chest harness setup. This is my announcement of the new setup. Like I said, just about every element of this can be customized, including the color of everything you're seeing. The plates right now possibly are only available in black, but I can do them with leather or with fabric bonding over the outside. So if that's something that interests you, let me know, and I'd love to discuss yours with you. All right, guys, well, I think that's all I've got for you for now, but let me know how you like the Cacula. This is the most important element of the video, obviously, and of course, I'd love your opinions about the whole setup that I've provided: clasp dangler, pivot plate, chest harness, everything. All right, guys, that's all I've got. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Stick around for the next one, and please tune into FOBOS Knives so you can find out how to win this knife and this whole custom setup. All right, guys, love you all. God bless.